Welcome in to the Al Smith Alfa Insurance High School Football Scoreboard Show. Get ready for all the scores and recaps from tonight's games. Let's throw it over to the boys from Northwest Georgia football, Lawrence Morgan and Benton Burge.
All right, guys, welcome in to the Al Smith Alfa Insurance High School Football Scoreboard. We got a lot to get to tonight. Got a full slate of games. We've had our fair share of upsets, dominating play, a couple shockers out there. I guess the upsets and the shockers go together. A lot of different football, a lot of Jekyll and Hyde. Like we've talked about, you don't know exactly who's going to show up, but that's what you get from 14, 18-year-old kids from time to time. So we're just going to go ahead and jump right in it. I'm going to rally off some scores. I know Chris said he hadn't heard all the scores. I'm not sure if Eric has heard all the scores. This is Chris and Eric joining us tonight. Eric, you're from Cartersville area, correct?
Yeah, right, Cartersville.
Yeah, and he's always on our Pick'em show, picking all the games. We call off what he picks, and I know we're going to have to give him some credit because he got a few of them right tonight that me and Lawrence didn't have selected. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the scores up, and we'll go through those right off the rip. Carrollton defeats Westlake 48-9. North Paulding beats Etowah 33-20. East Paulding defeats Lithia Springs 49-0. Rome puts one of those complete games together and beats Villarica 49-7. Hillgrove 52-0 over Paulding County. A late fourth quarter score. I was watching it on NFHS and it cut off like a minute and 30 left. So if anybody knows the final of the New Manchester South Paulding, the last score I had was 31-28 New Manchester. Central defeats Stars Mill 49-7. Cartersville 56-28 over Cass. Hiram goes to Cedartown and wins 37-17. Altoona holds off Woodland of Cartersville 49-35. Dawson County had a fourth quarter score 49-0 over Johnson. Calhoun 49-0 over Ridgeland. Heritage defeats Gilmer 29-14. Northwest Whitfield 40, Lafayette 7. Lakeview, Fort Oglethorpe 42, Cahola Creek 21. North Cobb Christian holds on to beat Murray County 23-17. North Murray pulls away from Snorville. I know that game was close early. 49-21 North Murray. Ringo beats Union 21-7. Pepperell beats Bremen on the road 21-10. Harrison County goes on the road and gets a 31-17 win over Model. We'll keep the road wins going. Heard County goes on the road and gets a 35-0 win over Temple. Coosa defeats Armurchie 34-0. Chattooga defeats Fannin 27-10. Christian Heritage beats Gordon Central 31-10. Gordon Lee all over day tonight 42-7. Bowden keeps rolling. Road win 49-13 over Manchester. And Mount Zion pulls away from the Trine Bulldogs 41-17. Mount Zion. Charles Israel says Temple has been outscored 14-105 in the region. And they, coming into the region, I believe was one of the top 3 highest scoring teams in the non-region play. So, take that for whatever you want. Let's see. Thomas says, great win for the Tribe from Chattooga. Indians beat Fannin. Big upset. That's one we'll have to give Eric credit. I could go back and clip it if I had to, but I'm sure y'all believe me. Eric had this one picked, and, me and me and Lawrence kind of chuckled at it, but it was it come to fruition. So that was a good one there. And you also had Pepperell picked, and Pepperell pulled it out at Bremen. Two big ones, two upsets. Hey, honestly, Chris, every week we look for Eric's upset, and he's been coming through with them. So
yes,
he's been coming through.
he's psychic.
I look at the records, but then again, like I said, a lot of them teams be underdogs. But if you look at the team they played in non-region, they get prepared for region play like that. And with Chattooga, they took some beatings early on, but it really counts when you get in the region. And Chattooga really has been playing real well the last 2 or 3 weeks. And when you get a team like that, they're gonna pull an upset. And like I said, I watched that game tonight on YouTube, and they controlled Fannin County. Line of scrimmage. The people from Fannin County were shocked. They couldn't believe that Chattooga was dominating them like that. I mean, it was 3rd down and 5, and fourth quarter, it was like 3rd down and 5, and the boy broke for like a 25-yard touchdown. The announcer for Fannin was like, "We get a stop." That boy broke. They couldn't stop him, and that right there is gonna carry this win tonight. Gonna carry Chattooga a long way. Even though Chattooga a young team, they're gonna be a dangerous team if they get in the playoffs. Because like I was telling you earlier, the wing T is a dangerous offense, and that's what Chattooga ran tonight. They was blitzing, they were doing everything they could like they did everybody else on Chattooga, but Chattooga was catching them off guard. Them little running backs, and whoever that big number 0 Chattooga got. I don't know what grade he in, but that boy like he could be in the NFL. He was just bullying them. You know what I'm saying?
That's
pretty
impressive.
Yeah, I mean he was just really like bullying them boys out there. And I'm like, if I was playing, I wouldn't want to go up against that boy.
And
Because he was
Fannon's
just
tough up front. Fannon's tough up front on both sides of the ball. So if you can dominate Fannin, in the trenches, you've got that's something to brag about right there.
They dominated Fannin in the trenches. The broadcast for Fannin was like they couldn't believe it themselves. How Chattooga was controlling the line of scrimmage. They kept wanting to go down there and tell the coach to run a different defense. They were like, we got to do something to stop that because they're controlling the line of scrimmage. But every time they tried to do a blitz, Chattooga do something different with that wing T, catch them out and pick up 8-9 yards of carry. Like I said, early in the season, when non-regional schedule like that, you're going to take beatings, but it sets you up for these type of games. Now, when people look at Chattooga from now on, they're going to be like, wait a minute. Look what they did to Fannin County.
Yeah, in my opinion, you're going to have to value your possessions against Chattooga because they're churning it out. And I think I wrote down Fannin in the second half ran 8 plays for 7 yards and had the ball for a little over 2 minutes in the entire second half.
Yeah, Chattooga controlled the ball. They controlled the ball. They were having 7-8 minute drives in the fourth quarter. I think they held the ball the percentage of the fourth quarter because the announcer kept saying we can't get the ball. When are we gonna get the ball? Chattooga is not gonna give us the ball. We can't get a stop. What's going on? And every time it seemed like they were gonna make a big play, Chattooga come back, get a first down, and run 2 or 3 more minutes off. Hey, that just
it was a big win for the Indians.
Yeah, huge.
Which game was you watching? Now, I think you watched a couple games tonight, did you?
I watched. I seen the Cartersville Cass game. Like I was telling you, Cass, that running back from Cass, Cartersville played the most dominant game they have played all year. If they play the way they played tonight, the rest of the season, they're gonna bring home a state championship. They played fast on offense. Cass couldn't even get settled on the defense. Soon as Cartersville run the ball, they lined up ready to go. It was 21-0 that quick. Brody McWhorter couldn't do nothing. That running back in Cass at halftime had 8 yards on like 12 carries. Cass got their first down with 8 minutes left in the second quarter.
Yeah, it just gives you that just shows how dominant Cartersville can be when they get it rolling. So.
Yeah, they I would say if they play the way they played tonight against North Oconee, any of them Creekside, they'll win those games. They just got to. I don't. They played like I said. They play the way they played tonight. The rest of the year, I don't see nobody beating them because they played fast. Now the quarterback Carter threw his first interception on the first drive, first play. After that, he came back and then and threw for like 300 yards and like 4 touchdowns and ran for like 2 touchdowns. I
Yeah,
mean,
heck of a game there.
yeah, they put on a show. They put on a show.
Yeah, I think they're going to continue to put on the show. Speaking of a show, Chris, you watched the let's see, which game was it you were watching?
I was at
North Murray.
Scoreboard at North Murray, and we knew
they won 21 at one point.
Yep, it was 21-21 at half, and we knew there was going to be a lot of points scored. We knew with 70 points, or more, was going to be scored. North Murray walked away with 49 of them, and Scoreboard struggled in that second half offensively, but I think it was more of the adjustments that North Murray made in that halftime defensively. Man, they come out and they really dominated the line of scrimmage. They held the Snorkel, mini punts. Get these stats right here. Hudson Hewlett had 22 rushes for 231 yards and 3 touchdowns. And he threw for one to Eli Smith, which is a great kid. I like watching him play. Leighton Myers, 13 carries, 91 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Jacob Daly and Anthony Skojak, you can't say enough about those guys. Those guys were dominant on defense, especially in that second half. So that was a big win for North Murray. This is the first time they've been 6-0. So I enjoyed watching them play tonight. They are a very good football team.
And I got a shocking score for y'all. You know how good Warner Robins has been over the years?
Yeah.
Guess what happened to them tonight?
They must have lost.
Benedict beat them 49-0.
Ouch.
Yes. 49-0 over Warner Robins.
What about
they won, of course, 49-7. Blessed Trinity, guess how bad Kale beat them 3-0. 3-0 was the final.
3-0.
3-0.
Beth Smith from Tringlo says, how about them Dragons? Yeah, big win for the Dragons, not on the road.
Yeah.
Chapo DeHoon says, Calhoun, probably the best, about the best Carter we're going to see until the playoffs start. I would definitely agree. Maybe even until they get a couple rounds deep.
Yeah, you might get a couple rounds deep before you see a team that can.
Well, they saying in the second round, Cartersville could see Ware County up in Cartersville. So they calling for Ware County in the second round. So that's going to be a tough one.
To me, I think you get better matchups and a more balanced thing when you do the power rankings. What do y'all think power rankings versus top 4 teams?
Well, they voted today to do that, so they're going to do that next year. They approved it.
I think it's going to be good because I think you get more teams that deserve to be in the playoffs in there.
They're going to 7 classes, and it ain't going to be no Class A private and all that. Class A going to be Class A. Yep. Class 2A going to be AA. They're going to go to 7 classes. They're going to have power rankings for all the classes, which I like that. That's because you're going to see teams that normally would miss the playoffs, a 5th seed in their region going to get in now. That gives every team something to play for every week. So that's going to be good.
Yeah.
Better matchups.
I think so.
So Benton, on the Pick'em show, you picking LFO now?
I did pick LFO. I'm pretty sure I picked LFO.
You did.
That's a good football team right there. They keep going on.
Yeah. Hey, if they can shore up that defense a little bit, they can put the points on the board now.
There's a couple kids on that LFO team I think can start on any team in this region. If they keep winning, I won't be surprised.
But I'm gonna tell y'all who a scary team to me, and that's Dalton. If Dalton get their defense together, that's a scary football team.
Yeah, because they got plenty of athletes too, and they are throwing it all over the yard, and everybody knows it's tough. It's tough.
And they can put some points up real quick.
Yeah, if they can get their defense together, Dalton is a dangerous team. They just got to find the defense. If they can do that, Dalton right now could have 4 or 5 wins right now, but their defense just, I don't know. They can't stop nobody, but the offense come right back and score. They just gotta find the defense, and they'll be okay. See the town, man. I don't know. I'm gonna say this again. The triple option is dead. It's dead. You can't run the triple option in wishbone no more in high school. I don't know why See the Town trying to do that. And Darlington, they can't run that no more. People stop that now.
Well, I mean,
that's probably right there.
Yeah, he's right. He said Carrollton and Grayson will meet in the third round this year. Both probably going to win their region. That's really the 6-state championship. And that is unfortunate that something like that would have to happen in that round. But that's just how it happens when you have this current setup. So. It's been a few minutes. We're about 20 minutes in. And for any new people, I'll go ahead and go over the scores one more time here. Carrollton beat Westlake 48-9. North Paulding 33-20 over Etowah. East Paulding 49-0 over Lithia Springs. Rome, which we need to talk about. We really haven't talked about Rome much. 49-7 over Villa Rica. Hillgrove defeats Paulding County 52-0. Manchester, last score we had was leading South Paulding 31-28. Central Carroll defeats Stars Mill 49-7. Cartersville 56-28 over Cass. Moving on here, Hiram defeats Cedartown 37-17. Altoona beats Woodland Cartersville 49-35. Dawson County 41-0 over Johnson. Calhoun 49-0 over Ridgeland. Heritage defeats Gilmer 29-14. Northwest Whitfield over Lafayette 40-7. LFO 42-21 over Cahola Creek. North Cobb Christian 23-17 over Murray County. That game was a little closer than what I expected there. Tough battle for Murray County.
Closer than a lot of folks expected right there.
Yeah, I didn't see that one coming.
North Murray over Sonoraville 49-21. Ringo beats Union County 21-7. Pepperell over Bremen 21-10. Harrison County over Model 31-17. Heard County over Temple 35-0. Coosa over Armurchie 34-0. Chattooga over Fannin 27-10. Christian Heritage over Gordon Central 31-10. Gordon Lee defeats Dade County 42-7. Bowden over Manchester 49-13. Mount Zion over Trine 41-17. Just on this page alone, I see a few teams here that are, putting their best foot forward towards winning their, respected regions. Bowden, Bowden and Mount Zion will have to play, but Bowden looks like the team to beat there. Gordon Lee, pretty dominant night against Dade County. With Fannin going down, one would assume that Gordon Lee probably is, head and shoulders above, looking to win that region. Can Pepperell win this 2A region, man? You got Heard County there. I think Heard's probably still the favorite right now, but I wouldn't put nothing past Pepperell and Harrelson. They're going to sneak up and get some folks too. Ringo's got to get. this Murray County. North. This is a loaded region here. It's going to be really difficult to pick the winner out of that.
Well, Union County played their best game they done played all year tonight. They was beating They was winning that game for the longest.
Yeah.
Ringo didn't really start scoring till about the fourth quarter. So they kept it close. But Ringo pulled it out. And I want to say one other thing. Our prayers go out to God and Lee, because I watched some of their game tonight. They lost 2 players this
Oh
week
man.
to accidents, and
Oh
they had
man.
in the last one. The announcer said in the last 2 weeks they've lost about 4 people, like 2 players. The quarterback's dad passed away. I mean, you could see it. That's why I think they put it on Dave like they did, because they was angry. But they've been had it rough up there. So I just want to send my prayers out to them.
What about
It's
this
hard to
Northwest
swallow.
Whitfield? Check out Northwest Whitfield right there. How many points have they scored in just the last few weeks?
Yeah,
they've had huge wins, and they're putting up 40 a game, so and more than that.
And I think that quarterback in Northwest Whitfield, he right there amongst some best in the state in passing, right behind the guy from Dalton, the quarterback from Dalton.
Yep. Yeah, he's right there. I was going to pull up their schedule because there's got to be some slobber knockers coming. And
it's going to get tough. These next 3 weeks, you're going to see some really big games going on for playoff seeds and region championships. You're really going to see some big games now.
Next week, Northwest Whitfield will host the Calhoun Yellow Jackets. Probably looking at that region, that's probably the de facto region championship right there.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, because the Daresville go to Ridgeland, so I don't. Daresville, you can't really count them out, but Northwest Whitfield and that's pretty much going to be, and Calhoun going to be for the region title, pretty much,
Next week, also, North Murray going up to Ringo. That ought to be a good battle. And then
it always is. That's always the game to be at right there. North Murray and Ringo, they always put up.
That's going to be a slobber knocker right there.
Now, there's another very important game going on when you're talking about playoff seeding and where everybody ends up is next week. LFO is going to go down to Sonoraville. And that's going to be, everybody's kind of jockeying for position. I think those are 2 playoff teams, and I think you'll find out who's who and where they're going to end up next week down there at the LFO at Sonoraville.
Yeah, I think whatever the line is, you push the over on that one because I think there's going to be a lot of points in that one.
Yeah.
All righty, let's see.
Let's see where Rockmart is at next week.
All right. I got you right here. I just clicked on it.
Rockmart. North Kyle Christian.
That's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I think the way North Kyle Christian and Murray played today, I think you favor Rockmart in that one. And Rockmart finishes out with LFO, Murray, and then at home against North Murray the last week of the season. That will be very interesting there.
Yeah.
I would say there's going to be a lot of people there at North Murray.
If things continue the way they have been, yes, I totally agree with that.
Standing room only. And I think it should be. That's going to be a heck of a game.
Yeah. Looking at Cartersville schedule, they got Altoona. Let's see.
They got Hiram the last game. I know that.
Yeah, Altoona down and then at Hiram. And that Hiram team right now 2-4, but I don't know. They played a close one, and Cass really took it on the chin tonight. So you would imagine, Cartersville's going to roll through the rest of that schedule.
And what makes it interesting about the Carver Hiram game, the head coach from Hiram came from Cartersville. He was he was a defensive coordinator last year at Cartersville. So, it could be an upset right there.
For sure.
Yeah.
Let's look lower class. Interested to see who Gordon Lee has coming up next week.
Who Chattooga got left?
Chattooga's on the road at Christian Heritage next week. That'll be a big matchup.
Yeah.
Christian Heritage, handily beating Armurchie tonight. Was that Armurchie? Hold on. Might have said the wrong. Gordon Central. Christian Heritage beating Gordon Central, which previously in the season beat Chattooga. So I mean, it's going to be a toss-up there on the road at Heritage. So Gordon Lee will face off against. They'll be at Armurchie next week. Then they have at Gordon Central, at Coosa, and then they'll finish against Fannin. And what most people thought would be the region championship game, which it still could be, but I like Gordon Lee's chances to finish it out and go 9-1 with their only blemish being the Heritage, and that was a heck of a game there. 28-21 loss to Heritage. So Gordon Lee looking like a surefire playoff team.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, I appreciate y'all joining. Let's see. I want to get back to these. A couple messages here. It says Calhoun going to run through their region like after a Waffle House All-Star with smothered covered hash browns. Hey, man, he's going to make me hungry. He's always got something good. Macaulay and Baylor tonight was a great game. Max Prepp's game of the week. Hot videos from both teams were at. Stadium was packed, and I know they got a loaded teams up there too. A lot of top talent right there on those two.
Yeah, I know one of them's nationally ranked. I think both of them should be.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah. There's some tough teams down here. I don't know. What do you think Macaulay or Baylor could do against, say, Carrollton or Cartersville?
I think we should find out
Carrollton
every year.
Beat both of them. Cartersville split.
I think us as fans, we should push for things like this. I want to see Carrollton and Baylor or McCully. I want to see Cartersville play Baylor or McCully.
Yeah.
Well, they've been trying to get a Tennessee Georgia kickoff classic, but they can't seem to get where they're gonna play worked out. Because I know when Coach Lown was at Calhoun, he was gonna get those two teams, and Cartersville was gonna play one. He was gonna play the other, but they wanted them to play the Tennessee up there at UTC. Yeah. Cartersville said no.
I don't see why this is not a thing. I don't see, like, if you take Walker Valley up here in Tennessee, just north of Cleveland, and I look at it Northwest Whitfield, not too far away from each other. Let's meet in the middle. That would be a great showdown. Second, third week of the season every year. Tennessee, Georgia. Let's get after it.
Yeah, used to they had the like the Rockmart, Piedmont, Cedartown, Piedmont, rolling those teams around, and those were always good matchups. That Piedmont squad over there in Alabama always was good. I'd like to see teams like that have different styles. I'd like to see some of those small schools come over, and some of those big tradition schools like let's see, Fife. I'd like to see Fife and that ground and pound system come over and play against, say, a Rockmart or somebody like that. Now, I don't know how that would end up, but that would be
It'll be close. It'll be close.
I think it would be a very good thing for the area if games like that started to take place at least once a year. I think I think it would draw a lot of folks because I love good football, and you put Carrollton and McCully on the same field, I'm probably going to go buy a ticket for that. And I know there's a lot of
Who wouldn't? That year Cartersville played that team out of Florida. Look how many people came up here from Florida to that game, and it was on ESPN. Games like that, people love to see a Cartersville play a powerhouse out of Tennessee. Calhoun, Rockmart, take 3 or 4 you good teams out of Georgia, go up there, play in the kickout classic. A lot of people would travel to see that. And see how
here he says West Georgia plays a lot of Alabama teams like Oxford, Central, Carrollton, and Parker. I remember seeing a couple of those games this year, but I think I think Oxford may have won last year, but lately it's been dominated by the Georgia teams, I'm pretty sure.
Because didn't Central beat them this year with a field goal at the buzzer? Yeah,
Yep.
Central beat them at the end, last play of the game this year.
All right, guys. Well, it's about 11:30. Got some college football to watch tomorrow, so we'll see how those games go.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
I'm
been
gonna
up
do
and
the
down.
same. And then
Georgia,
talking about
tell you
Waffle
what.
House earlier. I'm hungry. I'm gonna go grab something to eat. So
There you go.
Georgia better win tomorrow. They better win.
I think they will. I think they're going to shock people, and they're actually going to cover. I'm going to call it right now. They're covering.
Yeah, they will. I don't think Georgia going to lose another game the rest of the regular season myself.
I agree with that. I agree with both of you on that.
If I had to be honest, I picked 11-1, so they got to win out to hit my record. But I also know people who picked 10-2 and 9-3, so we'll see.
Well, my thing is, it's good to take a loss now early, then take one at the end of the year that could hurt you. I mean, what's one loss for Georgia? That's not going to hurt them at all.
They lost to Bama last year and then won the SEC. So.
But you got to think about it. Every year they lose Alabama in the regular season, and they end up playing them in the conference championship, and either playing for the national championship. So I don't understand why the Georgia people are panicking about it. I mean, Georgia's going to get in the playoff and go as far as they're going to go. Alabama get there. They're going to see each other again. They always do.
You know, even though I think this game's probably going to end up being one-sided, I'm going to end on this one. Anchor down.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey.
All right, gentlemen. All
right, we'll see y'all, guys. Thank you for joining.
All right, take it easy.
We here at Northwest Georgia Football would like to thank you for watching. Please join us again soon.